Namaste. Simplify life, remove complications, or harness your inner Shiva and Shakti. In Sanatan Dharma, in India, in Hinduism, there is a concept of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva means consciousness, Shakti, of course, means energy. Now, in life, we have a thing called mind which we allow to complicate things. The mind loves complexity, and it gets carried away because of the play of senses and all the rest that comes into the drama and so on, and it begins to complicate things immensely. What the complication serves to do internally is that it makes life difficult for us. We are confused, we are even led slowly in towards depression and so on and so forth because we have complicated things. However, if one learns to view things very simply as Shiva and Shakti, the warp and weft, like in any tapestry, in any cloth, there are two threads. One runs north-south, one runs east-west, if you want to see this way. And together, when they are woven, they create a tapestry of life. In life, Shiva and Shakti, consciousness and energy are essential. If either of these two is not available or is lost, life will cease to be. Or at least life as we know it will cease to be. So the idea is to use our energy resources to help build our consciousness and to use our consciousness so that we learn how to use our energy resources most effectively and most powerfully. Unfortunately, when we complicate lives, when we are confused, we do not make a good choice, and therefore we basically just go around running through life, running around in cycles or circles and creating unnecessary complications for ourselves. So if you begin to see everything as Shiva-Shakti or as energy and consciousness, you will make things easier for you. Now, when we talk about energy, how should you use your energy, and what is this energy? There is an internal energy which is there in the body, and which is created out of food and all that we consume, so that the body is able to function the way it needs to function. However, there are energy resources outside which are brought in so that the body can use them effectively and so on. Most of the time we use our energy resources, or the external energy resources and internal energy resources, in ways that do not fulfill us, in ways that do not take us to our highest potential. We waste them, we fritter them away. For example, largely everybody is drawn towards pleasantness or pleasure in sex. Now what happens is it brings you a few minutes of pleasure and then it's gone. So we have a concept of Tantra. There is a thing called Tantra, which is actually in Sanskrit the same thing. The warp and the weft. When you join these two, when you weave these two into each other, there is a tapestry created. That is Tantra. So Tantra basically teaches you how to use your energy resources in ways to raise your consciousness, and to use your consciousness in ways that your energy is used in the best possible way for the longest possible time. Whatever we do for our physical well-being has a limited short-term effect, and whatever we do for our soul, for example, is for the longest term. But normally we identify ourselves so deeply with our body that we use most of our energy resources just to find pleasantness, pleasure, or to fulfill the needs of the body, while we totally ignore the needs of our soul, or what is needed to be done to get the soul to its highest place. And what is the highest place for the soul? Basically, when your consciousness begins to rise. As your consciousness begins to rise, you will see deeper, you will see longer. Your vision becomes much longer than it is otherwise. So when our consciousness is low, so is our view of things. We look at things from a very short-term point of view. Whereas when our consciousness rises, we tend to look at things from a longer perspective. We take a view of a far longer period of time. And in that, of course, when we do things for our spirit or our soul, we do the maximum for our benefit. Unfortunately, we are normally carried away by the drama of whatever is happening externally, and we use our consciousness and energy to fritter away in those areas, and then we just basically meander through life, and we just can't find our way. So one simple way: learn to declutter, learn to remove complications from your life simply by looking at the energy and consciousness aspect of it. Thank you. A more detailed explanation is shared in the description here. Take a look, and if you like, ask to join the SWA-TANTRA Kriya, where you will learn ways to use both of these to help each other like stepping stones. You raise your consciousness, which helps you raise your energy or use your energy in a more effective way. Then you use your energy to raise your consciousness, and so on. You keep rising towards your highest potential. Namaste. All the best.